When you see it, please speak up. Speak up in the moment, especially if you're observing it happen. Because when you do, you're actually even empowering the person on the receiving end to be confident enough to question some of those things. And I'm learning to do that, I say that because I know sometimes earlier on in my career, it was like it was scary. You're not too sure what to do. You just feel it's an uncomfortable, awkward moment. But I'm learning to, when you see it, you speak up in that moment. Two, ask probing questions. That's another way to call people out, is to really ask probing questions. Ask those questions that make people really examine and consider the way they're seeing things and how they're thinking. What makes you say that? Like when people make those kind of remarks, oh, no, 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 she's married. Maybe we shouldn't be thinking about sending her to an international, job assignment. It's good to, just ask those probing questions, because when you do that, you're bringing them to really rethink and consider the comment they just made. Stick to the facts, because sometimes you almost want to take it personal, but I've learned to stick to the facts. Call it, stay the facts. Like I've been doing these interviews, like what I was doing I was doing some interviews some months ago, and I realized like everybody in the pipeline was from one country, and I'm like, hey, we're doing these interviews for a region with over 40 countries, but everybody I've interviewed in this pipeline is from one country. So when you see those things, stick to the fact, because when you use the facts, I think people begin to follow the logic. Explain the bias, explain as much as you can, because it might be a teachable moment as well. I think that's one of the things you could do. And one of the things I've also realized is not to speak about is, let's advocate for policy change. If you see there's a need, maybe the policy or the process isn't right, you do advocate. Maybe we should look at the hiring process. Maybe we should look at this process for mentoring. It looks like we're only getting one gender or one, similar profiles. And there's something we're doing that is just gearing the whole, or skewing the selection process to just one profile. And finally, can you strive to sit at the table? I'm really, really making this a call to action. Because I think when we have more women in the room, it could be lonely, really lonely for the few ones that are there. And when I say strive to sit at the table, I'm not saying you have to be giving those titles, the CEO, the VP or the manager. In rooms where you feel that decisions are made and influence and impact can be created, if you're passionate, find your way there. Strive to be there, because you become the voice for not just you, for many other people following up behind you.